How to master succulents. 14 proven steps to grow happy indoor plants without killing them. Hello, dear plant lovers. Welcome back to Earthly Delights, the place where your windowsill dreams turn into living, breathing beauty. Whether you're someone who just brought home their first succulent, or you've got a whole shelf of potted hopes and half-forgotten watering schedules, you're in the right place. If you've ever whispered, "Why do my succulents keep dying?" or stared at a mushy cactus wondering what went wrong, don't worry, I've been there too. This video is for the curious, the quietly determined, and the people who adore greenery but don't always have the time or the green thumb they wish they had. You might be a busy office worker trying to liven up your desk, a stay-at-home plant parent experimenting with indoor gardening, or someone who simply wants something beautiful to take care of in a chaotic world. Today, I'm going to share the 14 most powerful and beginner-friendly steps to help your succulents not just survive, but thrive. From watering secrets to propagation magic, I'll walk you through it all. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because your indoor jungle journey starts right now. Part 1. Know your plant, love your plant. Before we dive into soil mixes or watering routines, let's start with the most overlooked but essential truth: understanding your plant. Succulents aren't just trendy decorations, they're survivors of the desert, evolved to store water in their leaves and thrive in harsh conditions. If you treat them like tropical houseplants, they won't make it. But once you understand what they are really made for, everything changes. Let's begin right there. Step 1. Understand what a succulent really is. You've probably heard it before. Succulents are easy. But that's only true if you understand what they are at their core. The word succulent comes from the Latin word succus, meaning juice or sap. These plants have thick, fleshy leaves, stems, or roots designed for one purpose: storing water. That means they're built for survival, not pampering. Succulents evolved in some of the world's toughest climates, from scorching deserts to rocky cliffs. When you see a jade plant or an echeveria, you're looking at a plant that has mastered drought. So what does that mean for you? It means overwatering is one of the quickest ways to kill them. They don't want constant moisture. They want tough love. Many first-time plant parents mistake succulents for delicate indoor ornaments, but they're far more rugged than they appear. The secret to success starts here. Don't treat them like ferns or tropical foliage. Respect their resilience, and you'll be amazed at how well they reward you. Step 2. Choose the right succulent for your lifestyle. Not all succulents are created equal, and that's actually great news for you. Whether you're a forgetful waterer, a busy traveler, or someone who lives in a humid climate, there's a succulent that fits your rhythm. If you tend to forget to water for days or even weeks, go for a jade plant or a snake plant. These are practically indestructible. Live in a humid area? Try Haworthia or Gasteria, which handle moisture better than their desert cousins. If you love color and design, echeverias and kalanchos offer stunning symmetry and hues, but need a bit more attention and light. Think of it like picking a pet. Some need constant play, others are chill and independent. The worst thing you can do is choose a beautiful variety that doesn't match your care habits. So before buying that Pinterest-perfect plant, ask yourself, do I want low effort or showstopper? There's no wrong answer, just the right fit for you. Matching your plant to your lifestyle is the first step toward long-term success. Part 2. Create the right environment. Now that you know your plant and have chosen the right one for your lifestyle, it's time to talk about where and how your succulent will live. Because even the toughest plants won't thrive if their environment works against them. From lighting to airflow, your home setup plays a bigger role than you might think. Let's uncover how to recreate the conditions these plants love, right on your shelf or windowsill. Step 3. Let there be the right light. One of the biggest myths about succulents is that they're perfect, low-light plants. But here's the truth. Most succulents crave sunlight. Not just soft, filtered light, but strong, direct light for several hours a day. Think 5 to 6 hours minimum. If your succulent is stretching, leaning, or turning pale, it's not getting enough sun. This condition is called etiolation, and it's your plant's way of crying out, "I need more light." The good news? You can fix it. Start by placing your succulent near a bright east or south-facing window. If that's not possible, invest in a simple grow light. Your plant will thank you with compact, colorful, and healthy growth. And don't forget, if your plant has been living in a dark corner, you can't throw it into full sun immediately. Ease it in, day by day, hour by hour. Think of it as sun training, just like we do with seedlings. Light isn't just a nice bonus, it's life for your succulent. Give it the spotlight it deserves. Step 4. Avoid the leggy look. Have you ever looked at your succulent and thought, why does it look like it's doing yoga? Long, stretched out stems and awkward bends are signs your plant is becoming leggy, and that's usually caused by one thing: not enough light. When succulents don't get the sunlight they need, they start reaching for it, literally. Their stems elongate, their leaves grow farther apart, and that once tight, beautiful rosette turns into a wobbly tower. But don't worry, this is totally fixable. First, make rotating your pots a habit. Just a quarter turn every few days helps your plant grow evenly and prevents one-sided stretching. Next, move your plant to a brighter location or supplement with a grow light if needed. And if it's already too far gone, don't toss it. Use it as a chance to propagate. Trim the healthy top, let it callus for a few days, and replant it. The original stem might even sprout new growth. Leggy doesn't mean lost. It's your plant's way of asking for a better view of the sun. Part 3. The truth about water. So you've picked the right succulent and found its sunny spot. Great. But here's where many plant parents stumble. Watering. It sounds simple, right? Water when dry. But with succulents, it's more like a delicate dance. Too much, and they rot. Too little, and they shrivel. In this part, we'll break down the myths, reveal the golden rules, and help you water with confidence, not guesswork. Step 5. Watering is an art, not a schedule. Forget everything you've heard about watering once a week. Succulents don't follow your calendar. They follow the soil. One of the biggest mistakes new plant owners make is watering on a fixed schedule. But succulents live by a different rhythm. Only when I'm dry. Here's how you master it. Stick your finger about an inch into the soil. If it feels damp, wait. If it's bone dry, it's time to water. Still not sure? Use a moisture meter or even a wooden chopstick. If it comes out dry, go ahead and water. If it's moist, step away. Different seasons mean different needs. In spring and summer, your plant is actively growing, so it'll drink more. But come winter, many succulents go dormant, and you should cut back drastically, sometimes just once every few weeks. Your plant isn't trying to be difficult. It's just wired for survival, not routine. Once you start listening to the soil, not the clock, you'll stop wondering, am I doing this right? And start seeing results in plump, happy leaves. Step 6. Avoid the one killer. Overwatering. If there's one villain in the succulent world, it's overwatering. It sneaks in quietly. Your plant looks fine one day, then suddenly the leaves turn mushy, translucent, or fall off at a light touch. That's not a thirsty plant. It's one drowning from the inside. Succulents are natural hoarders. Their thick leaves already store plenty of water, so when you give them too much, their roots can't breathe. The excess moisture lingers, leading to rot, fungus, and a sad goodbye. To avoid this, always make sure your pot has drainage holes. Water thoroughly, but only when the soil is completely dry. And avoid splashing water on the leaves, especially for varieties like Echeveria or Jade, where it can pool and rot the crown. Pro tip: water in the morning. This allows any moisture on the surface to dry before nighttime, when cooler temps can encourage mold. Overwatering doesn't just kill plants, it kills confidence. But once you learn to hold back, you'll see your succulent thrive in its own rhythm. Less really is more. Step 7. How to water smart indoors. Indoor succulents have different needs than their outdoor cousins. Without direct sunlight and wind to dry out the soil, moisture tends to linger longer inside, so smart watering becomes even more essential. First, always use a pot with drainage holes. That's non-negotiable. Even the prettiest ceramic planter isn't worth the risk if it traps water. If you've fallen in love with a no-hole container, treat it like a decorative outer pot. Keep your succulent in a plastic nursery pot inside and take it out to water. Next, use a long spout watering can or a squeeze bottle to direct water straight to the soil, not the leaves. This helps prevent rot and keeps the plant's surface clean and dry. For tiny pots, consider bottom watering. Place the pot in a shallow dish of water and let the roots soak up what they need. And here's a visual trick. Add a layer of decorative rocks or pebbles on top of the soil. It looks stylish and helps reduce water evaporation. Watering indoors isn't about guessing. It's about precision. With the right tools and timing, you can keep your succulents happy without second-guessing every drop. Part 4. Soil, pots, and setup. You've got the light, you've mastered watering, but even the healthiest habits won't save your succulent if it's sitting in the wrong soil or cramped in a pot that holds too much moisture. In this part, we'll dig into the foundation, literally. From fast-draining soil mixes to pot shapes that support growth, let's build the perfect home for your succulent to thrive. Step 8. Ditch regular potting mix. Here's a common mistake: using regular potting soil for succulents. It might work for your herbs or houseplants, but for succulents, it's like stuffing a desert native into a swamp. These plants need soil that dries fast, really fast. The goal is to mimic the gritty, well-drained conditions of their natural habitat. That means saying goodbye to moisture-holding mixes and hello to fast-draining blends. You can buy ready-made cactus or succulent soil at garden centers, but if you love a DIY approach, here's a reliable recipe. Mix 40% garden soil or compost, 30% coarse sand, and 30% perlite, pumice, or small gravel. This combo ensures your plant gets stability, drainage, and just enough nutrients to grow strong. Avoid coco peat or peat moss indoors. They retain too much water, especially in low-light spaces, and can suffocate roots. A soggy mix leads straight to rot. Think of it this way. Your succulent doesn't want a spa day. It wants a dry, breezy desert bed. Give it soil that breathes, and you'll see it come to life. Step 9. Choose the right container. It's easy to get swept away by cute pots, but when it comes to succulents, the container you choose can make or break your plant's health. Succulents have shallow roots that don't need deep pots. In fact, too much depth means excess soil, which holds water longer and increases the risk of rot. Instead, go for wide, shallow containers that allow your plant to breathe and spread naturally. These are especially helpful if your succulent produces offsets, those tiny baby plants that grow at the base. A wider surface gives them space to develop without crowding. Drainage holes are non-negotiable. No matter how stylish a pot looks, if it doesn't let water escape, it's a potential death trap. If you fall in love with a pot that lacks drainage, treat it like a cover pot. Keep your succulent in a smaller nursery pot inside and remove it when watering. Also, avoid glass containers like terrariums unless you're experienced. They trap humidity, which succulents hate. When choosing a pot, think beyond aesthetics. Think of it as your plant's forever home. Form should follow function, and health always comes first. Step 10. Repot like a pro. Repotting a succulent might sound simple. Take it out, drop it in a new pot, done. But in reality, it's a delicate process that, if rushed, can lead to shock, rot, or even death. Succulents aren't like leafy houseplants. They're sensitive to root disturbance and overly moist conditions right after being moved. The best time to repot is during their active growing season, spring or early summer. Start by preparing your new pot with fresh, well-draining soil. Gently remove the plant from its old container, loosening the roots and brushing off any compacted or soggy soil. If you spot blackened, mushy roots, trim them carefully with sterile scissors. Now here's a key tip many skip. Let the roots air out for a day before replanting. This allows any tiny tears to dry and heal, preventing rot. You can also mix a bit of antifungal powder or neem cake into the soil for extra protection. Once replanted, don't water right away. Wait 3 to 5 days before the first watering. This gives your succulent time to settle in. Repotting isn't just a chore, it's a fresh start. Do it right and your plant will bounce back stronger than ever. Part 5. Feeding, cleaning, and defense. Even though succulents are low maintenance, they still need a little care beyond just water and light. Like us, they thrive with the right nutrition, benefit from a clean environment, and sometimes need protection from tiny invaders. In this part, we'll explore how to feed your succulents the right way, keep them clean and breathing, and defend them from pests before they take over. Let's give your plants the support they deserve. Step 11. Feed them, but not too much. Succulents aren't heavy feeders, but that doesn't mean they don't appreciate a little nutrition boost. especially during their active growing season in spring and summer. The key is moderation. Too much fertilizer can cause fast, weak, leggy growth and even burn the roots. A simple approach is to feed with a diluted, balanced liquid fertilizer, like 10-10-10 or 20-20-20 at quarter strength, once a month during growth season. Or, for an organic option, sprinkle a teaspoon of worm castings or compost around the base every 2 to 3 months. Just avoid feeding during winter dormancy when your plant is resting. Some plant lovers experiment with DIY fertilizer teas made from banana peels or used coffee grounds, but these can hold too much moisture or attract fungus if not used carefully. When in doubt, stick with trusted methods. Your succulent doesn't want a feast, it wants a light snack. A gentle, steady diet will encourage compact, colorful growth and stronger roots. Think of fertilizer as a quiet nudge, not a loud push. Step 12. Defend your succulents from invisible enemies. Even the healthiest succulents can fall victim to tiny persistent pests. The usual suspects: mealybugs, spider mites, and fungus gnats. These little invaders hide in crevices, suck the sap, and weaken your plant over time. But don't worry, there are easy ways to fight back. For prevention, spray your plants every 2 to 3 weeks with a gentle neem oil solution, just 5 to 10 milliliters of neem oil in a liter of water. It's natural, safe, and works as both a repellent and a treatment. If you notice fuzzy white spots, a sign of mealybugs, dip a cotton swab in rubbing alcohol and dab them directly. Got gnats flying out of your soil when you water? That's a sign of moist, fungus-friendly soil. Let the soil dry out longer between waterings and treat the roots with a hydrogen peroxide solution. Mix 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide with 4 parts water and drench the soil once. You don't need toxic chemicals or expensive sprays, just consistency, observation, and a few natural tricks. Healthy plants can resist a lot, but with your help, they'll resist even more. Stay vigilant, and your succulents will stay vibrant. Step 13. Keep them clean and breathing. Dust may seem harmless, but for succulents, it's a silent suffocator. A fine layer of dust on their fleshy leaves or spines can block sunlight, disrupt photosynthesis, and even attract pests. Think of it like sunscreen that never comes off. Your plant can't absorb the energy it needs to thrive. Every few weeks, take a moment to gently clean your plants. For smooth-leaved varieties like jade or echeveria, use a soft, damp cloth or a microfiber towel to wipe off the buildup. For spiny cacti or delicate types, a soft makeup brush or a can of compressed air works wonders. This simple act does more than just keep your plants pretty, it helps them breathe and grow. Clean plants also let you spot early signs of trouble, like discoloration, mold, or pests hiding in tight corners. And here's a bonus: cleaning your succulents is surprisingly relaxing. It's a mindful moment, a quiet ritual that deepens your connection to your plants. Just a few minutes can lead to healthier growth and a stronger bond with your green companions. Part 6. Become a propagation master. One of the most magical things about succulents? They're incredibly generous. With just a single leaf, stem, or tiny offset, you can grow an entirely new plant, often for free. Whether you're looking to multiply your collection, share with friends, or simply marvel at nature's design, propagation is where the real fun begins. Let's explore how to turn one plant into many, the smart and simple way. Step 14. How to multiply your plants for free. Propagation might sound like a task for advanced gardeners, but with succulents, it's delightfully easy and addictive. These plants are built to regenerate, which means you can grow a brand new plant from a single leaf, a stem cutting, or even the babies, offsets, they naturally produce. Start with the most satisfying method: leaf propagation. Gently twist a healthy leaf off the main plant, making sure it's a clean pull from the base. Let it dry for a day or two until the edge callus is over. Then, lay it on top of well-draining soil. Don't bury it. With a little patience, you'll see roots form, followed by a tiny rosette. For leggy plants, stem cuttings are ideal. Trim the stretched-out top, let it dry and callus, and then plant it like a new start. It often roots within a week or two. Offsets, or pups, appear around the base of many succulents like aloe, haworthia, or echeveria. Once they're big enough to handle, gently separate and pot them on their own. And for the truly patient, try growing from seeds, a slow but rewarding adventure. No matter your method, propagation is a joyful reminder that life multiplies with a little love and the right conditions. You're not a plant killer. You just needed a plan. So here's the truth. If your succulents have ever drooped, stretched, rotted, or crumbled in your hands, it doesn't mean you're bad at plants. It just means no one gave you the full picture. But now you have it. You've learned how to understand your plant's nature, how to create the right environment, how to water with wisdom, choose the right soil and pots, feed just enough, protect from tiny threats, and even multiply your collection like a pro. That's not just plant care, that's plant mastery. And remember, you don't have to get it all perfect on day one. Plants are patient. They don't judge your busy schedule, your missed watering day, or the week you forgot to rotate their pot. They simply wait for light, for space, for your quiet attention. Your windowsill can be more than a ledge. It can be a sanctuary. Your shelf of small pots can become a growing, living gallery of resilience and calm. So keep experimenting, keep learning, and keep growing, right alongside your succulents. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Earthly Delights for more soulful, practical plant wisdom. We're here for you and your green journey. Bonus, your succulent journey starts now. Before you scroll away and return to your day, take one small action. Pick just one tip from this video and try it today. Maybe it's checking your plant's sunlight, mixing a better soil blend, or gently wiping the dust off those plump little leaves. Tiny changes create big shifts over time. And here's the magic. Succulents don't just grow in pots, they grow in you. With every leaf that roots and every plant that bounces back from a mistake, you're building patience, awareness, and joy. That's the gift of plant care. It teaches without speaking. So go on, start small, stay curious, and let your inner garden grow. And if you ever need help, inspiration, or just want to share your progress, we're always here at Earthly Delights. Your plant journey is just beginning, and it's going to be beautiful.